Hey guys, it's Toby Morrison here from CFS Health. Welcome to another episode of the CFS Health podcast. Super excited to have you here. I think this is going to be really helpful for a lot of you. We just got off a amazing members only workshop, and we call it the guest panel workshop. And on that workshop, basically, we had past members who did our program and fast forward now are living their dreams, out there running their own businesses, running their own show. One just wrote a book and published it, new relationships, like really living again. And so it was so inspiring. And so we asked them 5 questions from our members, and obviously these guys got to answer them. And it sparked a conversation inside of me, which was, what do you do on the really hard days where you just want to give up, where you just can't cope any longer and you're really struggling? And so this episode is what to do when you are having a really hard day and you just want to give up. Before we get into today's episode, as always, win of the week. I feel like we need a drum roll every time we do this. Drum roll. Win of the week goes to Mitchell McLean, who is in our lifestyle integration program. Mitchell's just an amazing guy. He's been working with us for over a year now, and he's a young guy. He's in his teens. Well, he's actually about 18 years old now, maybe 17. And he posted his win of the week inside our program group, which is our exclusive private group for members only. And he said, I completed a psychology SAC, in brackets a test, within the same time as everyone else, meaning that he was literally with the normal healthy people group. I didn't need to use the extra time I had available. I can't remember the last time I was able to do this. And even better yet, I got a score of 92% on his exam. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see his win here posted. If you listen to this on audio, know it's real. We wouldn't share otherwise. So yeah, I asked Mitchell if it was okay if we could share this to the public. He said yes. So Mitchell, big shout out to you for 2 reasons. One, for just showing up, man. Like, you've worked so hard, and young dude, you've had lots of tough times. You kept showing up. We see you inside the program every single month, posting videos, sharing your wins, not just sharing your wins, but sharing your lessons too, and really growing as a person. And so we're so excited for you, for your future and what you're going to do. And, the fact that you got 92% is like a cherry on the top. As I've always said to you, life begins after school finishes. And so the fact that you got 92 is just amazing, cherry on the top. And yeah, so cool to see you winning. So big shout out to Mitchell in our lifestyle integration program. Let's get on to today's episode. What do I do on a really tough day? So I'm going to share with you the question on my screen. This is the question from our members, which was the 4th most popular question that everyone wanted answered. When you were just so over being sick and alone and isolated and really wanted to give up and just couldn't cope mentally any longer, how did you get through that? And so I want to give you the 3 answers that Hill, one of our guest panel workshop members, shared with us, because it was just really powerful and everyone absolutely loved it. The first thing that Hill said was meditation. So on a really bad day, rather than trying to fix everything, it was almost like calming down and just becoming more still. So getting back in tune with your body, not fighting it, not trying to beat something, but just really staying within and tuning in. The second thing he said, which was really interesting, was watching short inspirational YouTube video clips from CFS Health. And I didn't know this, but he used to log on those bad days, and he would just watch all the free videos that we had, which we still have on our channel. And he said that was just so helpful, like little tidbits about mindset or, consistency or staying on track, just really helped him remind and refocus his frame of mind so he could move forwards and continue his journey. The third thing he said was getting support from family, friends, or just your support network who encourage you. And so obviously our members are really blessed because they have each other. We have amazing members in over 53 countries, so no one's ever alone. And, they get to share their wins every week. They get to workshop questions that they're struggling with, and they can provide each other wisdom as well as working through the program and getting coaching when needed too. So, my suggestion is put those 3 things on your list. Another thing that you could do is really look at the energy gainers in your life and the energy drainers in your life. What helps you gain energy? What helps restore energy? And we have a concept, thanks to Paul Chek, which is working in or working out. And what that basically means is what is something when you do it restores energy within you. On the flip side, what are things that need energy output that you can build your capacity on too? So they're not wrong or right, they're just necessary on either side of the coin. And so the question for you is, what are some energy gainers and what are some energy drainers in your life? Become aware of them and then start implementing them. Obviously, we want more energy gainers than drainers. Decrease the drainers, increase the gainers. And then obviously step 2, which really is about being really practical, not getting too caught up in your thought process, but really just applying the basics and tuning into your body. You know, what are some working in activities and exercises you can do to implement on a daily basis? And I think that's the key here. We had Lauren Giammarco, who's another amazing past client. She was with us for over a year and a half. She just wrote a book called The Unbecoming. It's available on Amazon. Shout out to you, Lauren. Lauren had something really, really interesting to say too. And when I coached Lauren many years ago, I remember she had a huge breakthrough. And she said on those really, really bad days where she was just in a dark room, she just wanted to give up, she could barely do anything, she could barely eat, she could barely move, her body was in pain, like just really, really struggling. She had this breakthrough, which was, my legs hurt, my arms hurt, my neck hurts, but I'm not going to focus my attention on that. I'm going to find the body part that isn't in pain right now, and I'm going to focus my attention on that instead. And so she would pick one body part that feels more calm, that isn't in pain, and she would really just expand her awareness on the thing that was fine. And what happened was 2 things. She didn't spiral down into negative thought patterns, which would just drive negative behavior. And instead she was kind of able to level out and calm her nervous system down so she could move forwards and build her capacity appropriately. And so I think that's just really important to mention. You don't have to positively think yourself out of this problem. You can just focus your awareness on something that is working and not pretend, but just really embody that feeling of, well, this isn't fun, but then I'm also, this is okay. It's not everything's bad. One of our current members said, yeah, but I really love this idea of focusing on stopping your negative thoughts and not being consumed by them, but it's really hard. It's a great idea, but it's just hard. And so we had a conversation around that. And the conclusion was that, firstly, it is hard, but stop saying it's hard. Like, the more you keep saying, oh, but this is just so hard and it's so challenging, it's going to be more hard and challenging, right? The difference between successful people in the world that are doing something really great across the board in life, health, wellness, whatever, they know it's hard, but they don't talk about it, right? It's like, yeah, it's hard and I'm going to go do the thing. Versus the people that don't get results, they say it's hard, they know it's hard, but then they talk about how hard it is. And all their time and energy that they're spending on talking about this thing and problem that they don't want is actually exhausting them and making them even more tired than they already are. When in fact, if they use the same amount of energy and attention on the thing that they wanted and they could move forward with that, they're going to get better results. You're either winning or you're learning. You're never failing, right? But some people just go black and white. I'm either winning or I'm failing. It's like, no, you're either winning or you're learning. And so I just think it's so important that if you are going through a hard time right now, you know someone in your life who has a problem or who has problems, and all they do is they just keep talking about the problem. But it's so hard, and it's just so, yeah, it is hard. Acknowledge that it's hard. You don't have to pretend it's not. But you talking about it all the time to your family, to your friends, to people in your life, isn't actually helping you. So my first tip is stop talking about the problem that you don't want. That's a great start. And I want you to instead change it. Well, right now it might not be great. Right now it probably feels pretty shit. But what am I working towards? What if things went well? What if I continued to do this and was so consistent at it every single day? What if I just continue to show up in a really nice, peaceful, compassionate way that is coming from a place of love versus lack and fear? Another huge breakthrough that Lauren Giammarco shared on our guest panel workshop was the fact that when she first started the program, she kind of had this mindset of like, all right, I'm going to tackle this thing. Like, I'm going to tackle it head on. And one of the questions was, if you could change the way you went about things inside the program, what would it be? And so she said, eventually what happened, and I learned it pretty fast, was that my mindset around tackling recovery was the wrong mindset. And she said, instead, eventually I realized there was nothing to tackle, and instead there was just something to love. There was something to improve on. There was something to work towards. And so it came from initially a place of like despair and struggle to like peace, relaxation, and love. And so really what she was saying was having a relaxed approach is actually going to help you the most. And I just thought that was really, really pivotal because, there's a different feeling that comes with let's tackle this thing versus let's ease into this. One feels really good and doable, and the other one feels kind of exhausting. And as I said on the call, there's nothing wrong with having that tackling mentality for a game of basketball, for like a 1 hour match of something like a table tennis or whatever sport you want to play from a competitive standpoint. But you don't want to be competing all the time. And if you're coming from this place, I need to tackle this thing or I need to beat this thing, what if there was nothing to tackle or beat? Oh, yeah. What if you just stopped tackling and stopped trying to freaking beat and was just able to be? How might that actually help you? Notice I'm not saying giving up. I'm not saying stay where you're at. In fact, you'll move and literally transform way beyond where you're at when you can come from this place. Because one of our favorite quotes inside our program is what you resist persists. So if you're resisting something and you're constantly in resistance to it, I need to beat this, I need to beat this, you're going to have to always have something to beat. And it's just going to be exhausting. Yeah. So what if there was nothing to beat and nothing to resist? Interesting, isn't it? So, you've got some really practical tools there of what can you do, working in stuff, energy gainer stuff. We have a whole training module on this stuff inside our program. For the members, you guys know what we're talking about. And then also, the mindset stuff around this. When you're having a hard day, become aware of your struggle and your emotions, but don't get consumed by them. And I'm going to leave you with this. It's one thing to work on your mindset from a place of love and compassion. And then there's another place that you can work on your mindset where you're literally beating yourself up, you're criticizing yourself, you're constantly putting yourself down. And I want to ask you, is that the best way to train a dog to do what you really want? Is that the best way to bring up a child or coach someone in sport to really perform at the highest level? By this negative putting down, is that the best way to train and develop and coach staff in a company? Because I certainly wouldn't enjoy that. I know a lot of other people wouldn't either. And so the same rules apply for you to yourself. How are you showing up? How are you showing up towards yourself? Again, don't get stuck in the narrative. Let there be narrative. Let the thoughts come and go. Be okay with them. It's okay, it's just a narrative. My mind's is creating a story right now. It's not true. We recommend Byron Katie's work. For anyone who doesn't know the work, it's awesome. 4 questions to workshop what is kind of in the way mentally for you, the block. And usually there's a story behind it. What's the story you're telling yourself? And we suggest not to go too deep into the narrative, but just to see it as awareness, see it as just thoughts, and then move on and have intentions for your day. And intentions really a focus point of how you want to be today for yourself. Is it kind? Is it compassionate? Is it calm? Is it energetic? Is it fun loving? It can be anything. And so inside our daily planner, which again is just for members only, it's exclusive custom daily planner, but in a part of that morning routine is a to-be list. How do you want to be? And so using from that place, you can come from a place of love, compassion, and you can kind of open up your world. Now, I know some of these words are kind of airy-fairy for a lot of people. I get it. I was one of those people too. But from a practical standpoint, if we think about this, the intentions list is helping you to shift your behavior to what is enhancing you. Yeah. So if we don't have that narrative, or if we have the narrative, I've got to beat this thing, I've got to tackle it, and if I don't win, I fail. Again, you're setting yourself up for failure, and it's just going to be this merry-go-round of struggle. And so, what would it be like if you just didn't have to struggle against yourself anymore, and you could work with yourself to move towards what you want? I'm going to leave it there. I hope this podcast was helpful. Big shout out to Mitchell again, and just stay on this podcast right now. And there's a couple of things we want to share with you. We've got some trainings that are going to help you a bunch. And of course, you can work with us on a personal level and be part of the mentorship program. We'll give you the details right now. Au revoir. Hey, I hope that episode was really, really helpful. Here are 3 ways we can help you whenever you are ready. The first way is through our free Facebook group. It's called the CFS Health Recovery Info Hub. Go and join there. It's a private group. I think there's like 4,500 people in there currently. We add free trainings in there. We add free helpful content and reminders to keep you going on your recovery. The second thing is our free resources on our website. We have the free baseline training. We also have the 3-step recovery process to start living again, and the recovery framework too. So go check that out. We'll leave some links in the description. And thirdly, another way we can help you is you directly work with us professionally. And this is where you would enroll in our mentorship program. And this is where we help clients literally step by step all the way through their recovery to living again. So if you would like help on a professional level, if you would like help on a practical level, which I think is the biggest problem in the world right now, this is what we provide, feel free to apply for the program. It is application only, so make sure you fill that out properly. We want to know what the current struggles are for you. We also want to know what your 3 goals are if you were to work with us. And it's really important that we get to know you on a deeper level, because this will help us identify where your stuck points are, and we can also identify a plan for you that you can start to implement right away. And so if you'd like to work with us and all of our amazing coaches, and also be surrounded by some freaking amazing people in over 53 countries, our program is the most comprehensive online recovery program there is. We cover every aspect of recovery. I'm not going to bore you with the details. You can just apply. We'll send you the information pack, which covers everything inside it, including the investment, the time, and what you get inside of it as well. So really looking forward to connecting with you there. And again, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, leave a review if you found it helpful. We really want to make a difference in the world. We want to make sure that our content, our work really reaches people in need, because the amount of times someone says, oh my God, I wish I found this 7 years ago, it happens every week. So let's do this together and make some positive change in the world. All the best for now, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.